What is going on with the ADC is a big question on everybody's mind, because at some point at the beginning of the year, it looks like, okay, the APC has a party that will give it a run for its money. But all of a sudden, because of litigations and multiple litigation at different points that went all the way from the trial court through an interlocutory appeal to the appeal court, down to the Supreme Court, and then, of course, where we are, the Supreme Court said, go back to the trial court, go and show cause why the injunctive reliefs that were sought by the other party should not be granted. So how long are they going to stay in court? What is going to be the fate of all of this? They have just barely, if today is 5th of May, maybe 4 to 5 days. So we're seeing people who are not taking chances with their political future, who had found a home in the coalition in ADC, now saying goodbye. Maybe we'll meet later, but I need to secure my future, including Leke Abejide, who had said he's the landlord of the ADC. He's now gone to a party he's not divided, he's not denied, he's in love with, especially the president, the APC. But 17 members of the ADC today in the House of Reps moved to the NDC, a relatively new party with the national leader, Seriake Dickson, who is a senator. So that's why we're probing further on this. Let's bring in my guest. Mr. Oladimeji Fabiyi is the ADC Deputy National Financial Secretary, an NWC member. Mr. Fabiyi, thank you so much for coming on the program. If you can hear me, Mr. Fabiyi.
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Welcome to the program. Joining us from our Abuja studios. Also joining us at some point, I hope he's ready now, Mr. Peter Ozokwe. He represents the people of Nnewi South, Nnewi North, Ekusigo Federal Constituency in Anambra State. Mr. Ozokwe, Honorable Ozokwe, thank you for coming on the program. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the audio, but let me come to Mr. Fabiyi. Mr. Fabiyi, what exactly is going on? If not that I know that senior men in politics like David Mark, Atiku Abubakar, former president, former vice president of Nigeria, Ralph Aregbesola, and several other persons are still there. What exactly is happening in your party that everybody is losing, or let me not say everybody, the members who are leaving have lost hope to the fact that if they stay with you, you're going to jeopardize their political future. In fact, the Senate president today said, your party is dead. Do you agree to that verdict of the Senate president? What's happening?
Thank you very much, Geoffrey. First, don't mind the Senate president. I didn't expect him to say anything otherwise. For me, let me tell you straight off that there's nothing wrong with our party. Perhaps something is wrong with those that are leaving, and they are the only one who can say the reason why they are leaving. Most especially Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi that left. There was a purpose for the convergence in the first instance that he joined. There was a reason, there was a purpose for it. Now, he's the only one who can say this is the reason why I left. And I'm happy that in his statement, he said, I didn't leave because of Atiku, I didn't leave because of David Mark, but I left because I'm uncomfortable with certain things. It's his right. So he's the only one who can actually say, and those that are leaving are the only ones who can actually say the reason they are leaving. Because there is no opposition party today that does not have one K-leg or the other. So for them to have left, they are the only ones who can say, I can't speak, they are the only ones who can tell Nigerians why they have. But one thing I know is that a lot of them have, especially those that left at the National Assembly today, they were leaving not because they love NDC, but they were leaving perhaps because they felt they needed a platform to advance their political, journey or whatever. So for me, and then when you look at tragedy of some people, especially Mr. Peter Obi, you will know that he's not a man who likes to face challenges. He's not a leader who wants to fight for the people. He only wants to fight for himself. And given it's his right to do that. So for me, like I said, he's the only one who can tell the entire country why he has to do this. A lot of Nigerians are expecting that opposition will come together and push this failed addition out of power. But he felt something has changed. I remember in one of the meetings of the coalition, he said a statement that if coalition should present two presidents, we're handing over a return to Tinubu on a platter. So I don't know what has changed now. So as far as I am concerned, I think it will be be able to tell Nigerians why he moved. So nothing is wrong with our party. We are still continuing with our programs and and activities. You can see we rolled out our plans, we've started selling forms, and a lot of things are going on with the party. Regardless, when you talk about the court cases, we don't have any problem with that. They're just reckless, court cases that we just saw. 3 of them, and in the next couple of days, court will deal with them. So we are not a party that came into being through the order of the court. We are duly registered, and we met all the registration requirements under the law. So all of these things that they are throwing on our way, we know where they are coming from, but we are fighting them, we are resisting them, and by the grace of God, we are going to overcome.
So the question will be, how many court cases do you have? At least I'm privy to one, the one that is at the trial court before Justice Emeka Nwite, between your party and Mr. Nafiu Bala Gombe, which is going to be heard. I want to presume the way court cases go, whoever loses will want to appeal, and then all the way to the Supreme Court. I don't know how long is that going to last. Which other court case do you have in the ADC? Because Robbie Kwankwaso, who is the leader of the Kwankwaso movement, also mentioned plethora of litigation in the ADC, which for him is not a good place to stay, because of his political future. Not my words now.
I don't know what RMK meant by plethora of litigations. We had just, let me borrow the words of Bolaji Abdullahi, flimsy court cases that cannot even stop us. Because if it's on the point of law, there's no how ADC is going to lose, except there's any other thing from elsewhere. The cases are clear, and if you are following the point of law, there's no how ADC can lose all of these cases. We were in the Supreme Court, everybody listened to heard the position of the Supreme Court. The ones that were instituted by some state chairmen, they are there, that congresses and conventions should not be recognized, is in court. There was another one by the guy that just left. He was in ADC before the Kogi House of Reverend by Lekki or something. He had already left now. So we wait to hear what the court is going to do. But like I tell you, we are solid on ground. We are solid. We're huge on these cases, and nothing is going to stop us. Like the national chairman said, we are going to be on the ballot, and ADC is going to win. That's what they don't want to hear. We're here. It's about Nigeria. It's not about anybody. It's not about.
For those who believe that this party is just put together by Alhaji, and that. In fact, I was speaking with Buba Galadima yesterday, and he was actually inviting Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to the NDC. He said, "Look, this is more like a sinking ship from where he sits and what he knows, that it should come and join before it's too late." For those who have always held that this is an SPV put together to, position and posture the ambition of His Excellency the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, don't you think that that's also one of the factors that some of these gentlemen have looked at and have said, okay, we don't know whether we can contend with this, and decided to excuse themselves from the party? I want you to speak to that issue of Atiku Abubakar, because it's central. I remember I was speaking with, I'm not sure whether me or someone was speaking with Mr. Shegu Showomi. One of his challenges is that Atiku Abubakar always shows up irrespective of whatever is the unwritten understanding of Nigeria. So whether a southerner is coming, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will show up to run for president. Whether a northerner is coming, he shows up to run for president. So don't you think that's also a challenge?
Geoffrey, let me tell you, let me make this abundantly clear. This has nothing to do with Atiku Abubakar. What Atiku simply did was to call for the convergence of all opposition elements. He started from PDP, and he rallied every individual you see. He convinced them. Geoffrey, that is leadership. If they cannot give it to him, we will give it to him, and he should give it to himself. What Atiku did was to provide leadership, was to converge every opposition element, because he knew that the way the APC started, the way they were going, they will stop at nothing to destroy that democracy. And the only way this government of Tinubu can be pushed out, it was to bring all the opposition elements together. That was what Atiku did. And some people are now misconstruing that to be the party was built for Atiku. Well, I don't know where that is coming from. So for me, and all of them saw it, they came in the Four Sisters, because what led to the exit? We should query them. We should ask them, why did they leave? So all of you now cannot come together and defeat Atiku in a free, fair contest? Is Atiku God that you cannot face? Is it that too powerful, too strong, that all of you cannot face and say, no, we are going to defeat, and the next thing you can do is to run away? They should go and tell that to the Marines. I don't share in all of that. It's cowardice. It's cowardice, and you can see that being exhibited significantly by Mr. Peter Obi. He left the party because he was so scared of Atiku Abubakar. Atiku said, let's go into free, fair primaries. The law provided for two options in selecting our candidate, either direct primaries or consensus. Now, Mr. Peter Obi and his people and RMK, they want to bring in coronation. It's not going to happen in our democratic lexicon. We are not going to accept it. They want everything on a platter. You are a leader you are trying to be a leader who wants to lead a country over 250 million, and you are so scared to face a challenge of common primaries where few delegates will elect candidates. No. For me, I think it's below the belt.
The days of few delegates elect candidates is over, so we don't do indirect primaries, it's primaries. So if you have the numbers that you claim to have as a party during that registration, maybe I should have looked at the numbers because the other day I tried to check out what is going on with the NDC. Literally, I don't know whether the site went down, literally, because of the massive number of migration, maybe from the Kwankwasi and the Obedient movement. I'm going to stay with the issue of Atiku Abubakar for a moment, if you indulge me. And that has to do with, it looks like every other party, literally, even the divided house of the PDP, even though they will say they are not divided, the Labour Party, now the NDC, a couple of other parties seem to have a sentiment that radiates with maybe the generality of Nigerians that the presidency should stay in the South. Even the APC, the ruling party, has decided that, of course, they're incumbent, so naturally they will be given the right of first refusal. Isn't that something that gives the ADC a clue that should have given some of these gentlemen confidence that they may have a shot at the presidency? I'm talking about maybe people like Peter Obi and maybe Rotimi Amechi, rather than throwing it open.
See, Jeffrey, I'm not an advocate of zoning. I've said it many fora, including here. I've said it many times. I am an advocate of merit and capacity. And why I say this is because the opposition government, opposition party, has no business delving into zoning. It's the ruling government that dwell on it. This is very clear. In 2014, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to Daura to convince late President Muhammadu Buhari to come and compete against President Goodluck Jonathan. Are you telling me at that time President Tinubu does not have capacity to face President Goodluck Jonathan? But he knew the arithmetic will not work. It was the duty, it's the responsibility of the ruling government to talk about zoning. What is opposition zoning? They don't have to do that because there's nothing to zone. When you come into government, then you can begin to do whatever you want to do with zoning. Opposition has no business.
I'm going to come back to you in a moment. I'm going to come back to you in a moment. The premise I was laying, my apologies, was the fact that what appears to be the natural sentiment is not about who is in power, who is not. But let me bring in one of the men who defected today. He was in the YPP. He left for the ADC. Now he's in the NDC. Honorable Peter Ozokwe, thank you so much for coming on the program. You represent the people of Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. Honorable, will I say congratulations or I'm not sure how to address the matter. I've been going back and forth with Mr. Fabi over what the possibilities were that were considered by members who decided to, in their droves, literally for 17 persons to leave a political party in one day is very alarming. We may have to look at the data to show that this 4 years under President Bola Tinubu may be the record year of mass defection ever in the history of Nigeria. I don't have that data, but my suspicion. Why did you move to the NDC?
Jeff, let me talk about certain things he just said there. One, let us see first the way they are before I will tell you why I left ADC. Jeff, I am one of those honorable members, former legislators and current legislators that went around. We went to Atiku Abubakar's house last 2 weeks We went to Juan Kwaso house the same week. We went around meeting our leaders, and we knew what they told us. And what Atiku told us was why we left today. But I don't want to go into that.
What did he
I
tell you?
respect Atiku. Let me finish what I'm saying. I respect Atiku for who he has been in Nigeria, former vice president of Nigeria. And let me tell my brother, if you have a leader that you entrusted your future in his hand, you can come here and tell us that you are not a proponent of zoning because Atiku is in the race. You can tell it to anybody, not me. Because Atiku is in the race, you are his man. You can tell Nigerians who don't believe in zoning. At the same time, you came back and said that in 2014, that His Excellency President Tinubu went to Buhari and considered to him. Tinubu considered to Buhari because Jonathan lost that election because our northern brothers are not happy. They say that it is still the turn of the northerners to complete their tenure. Now, Tinubu, in all his efforts, considered to Buhari, and Buhari came and took over the mantle of leadership. He said this now. Jeff, the ambition of His Excellency Abubakar Atiku of Nigeria is what killed PDP. Can he stand before Nyesom Wike and tell him that Atiku is still refusing to concede to the Southerners? And he cannot come out in all good faith and be saying this. I wondered why he is calling P2B. Yes, it's good. I kept telling Nigerians, His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, has been attacking Atiku Abubakar for privatization, selling Nigerian property. We are not going into that. Atiku Abubakar is attacking the president of stealing, of doing this. None of the two has attacked P2B of stealing. That is one thing. They have not attacked P2B of stealing. Yet somebody will call the national TV because we left ADC. What was ADC before P2B entered ADC? Let him tell Nigerians. Therefore, you are telling us the mass movement. We left ADC because His Excellency Atiku Abubakar said that coalition was forming in his house, that ADC is his party, that nobody will tell him anything. We went to him and said, can you step down and leave P2B, Rotimi Amoechi and others to go into primaries? Let Atiku say he is stepping down today, that Rotimi Amoechi, that he has considered to the south, that Rotimi Amoechi and P2B should go to the field and do primaries, or any other person from the south. If P2B does not come back tomorrow to come and face anybody, what are you telling people? Somebody that stood for election in 2023 and you are telling me about primaries. My brother, stop telling lies to Nigerians. Tell us how you people came into coalition. And we said no. Former legislators and current legislators, we sat down, we went to all their houses. And we are not getting that the South way. Kwankwasia movement, they consider to the South. What you hear them saying tomorrow is that Kwankwaso is just a politician in Kanu, that he has no other places to conquer. But I keep on asking.
All right, Honorable.
I'm coming.
Yeah, because of time, Honorable, you can land on your thought in 30 seconds so that we can begin to wrap up.
But you gave him 20 minutes.
No, because
go ahead.
No,
but he shouldn't be attacking P2B
All right, I understand. I understand. We're actually waiting for you to join in.
NDC.
Yes, I would have brought you in.
You cannot tell me that ADC, did he attack Honorable Abajide that Leke Abajide that left ADC to ADC?
All right, let me take it to Mr. Fabi. Mr.
We
Fabi,
are here.
My apologies. Everybody has just about 30 seconds. Mr. Fabi, let me come back to you. Honorable Uzokwe, because we couldn't get you early. He said it's not my words now. So you may respond to him. You're a member of the NWC of the ADC. Respond to him. 30 seconds, if you will.
Geoffrey, we do respect to honorable members. Do you know all of these guys are playing to the gallery? Because they felt they could not win without Peter Obi. It's not as if they love NDC. It's because they felt with Peter Obi, that's the only way they can win their election. That's what we have done. Now, let me just quickly take him on Atiku Abubakar. If Atiku had told you that coalition started in his house, I alluded to it that he converged all the opposition elements to let us go through this route. And there was a purpose for that. But now Peter Obi said the purpose does not mean anything again. Rabiu Mukwasa said it does not mean anything again. Why is Amechi still staying? Amechi was part of all of this. Why is Aregbe still staying? You people, you members of the National Assembly, I wish all of you well that has left, but we'll wait to see what happens. Now, on Atiku Abubakar, I don't know, because you mentioned someone that I don't usually like to mention, which is Nyesom Wike. And I want to ask you this question. If Atiku had picked Wike as his vice presidential running mate, will Wike be talking about southernization today and has become the VP? Will he? I want you to answer that to the public. But let me tell you something. I won't come to the national TV. I'm too experienced to come and tell you what is not. I'm laying the fact as it is. Peter Obi was given significant concession in the ADC. He produced some of the engine room of the party, the National Organizing Secretary. If there was no meeting of the coalition, he did not go. So if he says he's leaving, it's his right to leave. I don't have any problem with that. But we have to say the truth to the public. All of you know why you are leaving. Atiku is not your problem. Party is not your problem. Court cases is not your problem. If you are genuine and true to yourself, including your leader, you should have stepped back and fight for the party. That's what reliable leaders do. That is the remarkable difference between your leader and Atiku Abubakar, the leader of Nigeria. And we will see where all of this will take all of you.
All
so
right,
don't come on national TV.
Fabi, we're totally out of time. Let me bring it.
That's what I said.
Mr. Ozokwe, have a minute so we can wrap it up. He said what he said. He said you can't stand. You've put that position as well. But what are your parting words on this particular issue?
Yes.
Because it looks like what the APC had said, issue has always been true. By what we are seeing just now on TV, they said the ego of the members of the coalition wouldn't let them do what they should do. The APC did something that was very simple but very strategic in 2014. In politics, they say it's not about who is the best candidate, it's about who can win. And when that question was asked through their primaries, they answered and Buhari emerged. That, they said, you can't do as ADC. And that's why everybody's moving. What's your last word?
Please, you gave him 2 minutes. Let me talk.
Yes, I'll give you 1.5 minutes.
Tell my friend there that I came into P2B stood for election in 2023. Labour Party. Tell him that I came into the house through YPP against P2B's Labour Party. I defeated the Labour candidates. So telling me that I will not win the election, Newu North, Newu South, and Newu Sigo is one of the toughest constituencies that you can stand the election. 42 words. Tell him to go and watch and Google my name. You will see my medical outreach I did last week. I don't tell people. I go home. I go home. Listen.
Why didn't you say YPP?
The same issue we had in Anambra State. I did not contest the YPP because in Anambra, Anambra South is the legal district to produce the governor. And then YPP went and fielded somebody from Anambra North, from Obiano South. And I told them that I cannot campaign for that person. I can use their ADC and win election in Newu North and Newu South. Please don't say that. I can win. Go and contest the election.
You should have stayed back.
Who voted you there? Go and contest the election. Where are you in the house? Have you been in the house? Have you been in your state house?
Mr. Fabi, let him land, please.
You don't talk to me when we are talking. People that stood the election. I went through court. I won my case. I went for the wrong. I won my case. Everybody ask them about the Newu, not the Newu South.
All right, gentlemen.
Let me tell him.
We're totally out of time.
10,000. Let me come.
We're totally out of time, Mr.
I'm coming.
Honorable Zakwe, I gave you time to talk. So,
804.
Honorable Zakwe, I gave you time to talk. Yes. Gentlemen, there's no need to fight on TV. You're now in different parties, NDC, ADC. We're just trying to find out why the divorce happened. But I wish you both the very best. Peter Ozokwe is one of the 17 members that defected from the ADC to the NDC today. He represents Newi South, Newi North, Ekusigo Federal Constituency, as well as Mr. Oladimeji Fabi is a member of the NWC of the ADC. He's the Deputy National Financial Secretary. Gentlemen, I appreciate you both. Thank you.